learner-centered approach views learners as active agents. They bring their own knowledge, past experiences, education, and ideas, and this impacts how they take on board new information and learn. It differs significantly from a traditional instructor-centered approach. Traditional learning approaches were informed by behaviorism, which sees learners as blank slates and instructors as experts who must impart all the relevant information. This approach sees learners as respondents to external stimuli. Following are the common models of learning pedagogy. The number one is face-to-face. Face-to-face learning is an instructional method where course content and learning material are taught in person to a group of students. This allows for a live interaction between a learner and an instructor. Learners benefit from a greater level of interaction with their fellow students as well. The number two is independent. So independent learning is when an individual is able to think, act, and pursue their own studies autonomously without the same levels of support you receive from a teacher at school. Independent learning is important because it develops creativity and intellectual curiosity. Independent learning is about pupils being active rather than passive. It is about them working out the answers rather than being told them. Blended learning, a style of education in which students learn via electronic and online media as well as traditional face-to-face teaching. Blended learning has been introduced in small child school. A learning facilitator helps others utilize their own knowledge and abilities to achieve their learning objectives. As a learning facilitator, you are different from a traditional teacher. Instead of working in a classroom and explaining procedures or skills through lectures, you engage students in developing their skills by using their own knowledge to discover new information. You guide your students through the learning process, assisting them at their own pace. Learning facilitators work in a variety of fields, including technology, education, or business, and lead workshops and other trainings exercises. Qualifications to pursue a career as a learning facilitator include proficiency in the industry in which you want to work and experience developing one-on-one and group training programs. So teaching methods. Number one, visualization. All academic concepts to life with visual and practical learning experiences, helping your students to understand how their schooling applies in the real world. Teaching strategies. Number one, visualization. All academic concepts to life with visual and practical learning experiences, helping your students to understand how their schooling applies in the real world. Examples including using the interactive whiteboard to display photos, audio clips, and videos, as well as encouraging your students to get out of their seats with classroom experiments and local field trips. Number two, cooperative learning. Encourage students of mixed abilities to work together by promoting small group or whole class activities. Through verbally expressing their ideas and responding to others, your students will develop their self-confidence as well as enhance their communication and critical thinking skills, which are vital throughout life. Solving mathematical puzzles, conducting scientific experiments, and acting out short drama sketches are just a few examples of how cooperative learning can be incorporated into classroom lessons. Number three, inquiry-based instruction. Pose thought-provoking questions which inspire your students to think for themselves and become more independent learners. Encouraging students to ask questions and investigate their own ideas helps improve their problem-solving skills as well as gain deeper understanding of academic concepts, both of which are important life skills. Inquiries can be science or math-based, such as why does my shadow change size, or is the sum of two code numbers always an even number? Number 4. Differentiation. Differentiate your teaching by allocating tests based on students' abilities to ensure no one gets left behind. Assigning classroom activities according to students' unique learning needs means individuals with higher academic capabilities are stretched and those who are struggling get the appropriate support. This can involve handing out worksheets that vary in complexity to different groups of students, or setting up a range of workstations around the classroom which contain an assortment of tasks for students to choose from. Moreover, using an educational tool such as Visualize can save your hours of time because it automatically groups your students for you, so you can easily identify individual and whole class learning gaps. Number 5. Technology in the classroom. Incorporating technology into your teaching is a great way to actively engage your students, especially as digital media surrounds young people in the 21st century. Interactive whiteboards or mobile devices can be used to display images and videos, which help students visualize new academic concepts. Learning can become more interactive when technology is used, as students can physically engage during lessons as well as instantly research their ideas, which develops autonomy. Mobile devices such as iPads and or tablets can be used in the classroom for students to record results, takes photo videos, or simply as behavior management technique. Number 6. Behavior management. Implementing an effective behavior management strategy is crucial to gain your students' respect and ensure students have an equal chance of reaching their full potential. Noisy, disruptive classrooms do not encourage productive learning environment, therefore developing an atmosphere of mutual respect through a combination of discipline and reward can be beneficial for both you and your students. Examples include fun and interactive reward charts for younger students, where individuals move up or down based on behavior, with the top students receiving a prize at the end of the week. Number 7. Professional development. Engaging in regular professional development programs is a great way to enhance teaching and learning in your classroom. With educational policies constantly changing, it is extremely useful to attend events where you can gain inspiration from other teachers and academics. It's also a great excuse to get out of the classroom and work alongside other teachers just like you. The teaching methods. Number 1. What is a teaching method? A teaching method comprises the principles and methods used by teachers to enable student learning. These strategies are determined partly in subject matter to be taught and partly by the nature of the learner. Teacher-centered. Often thought of as one of the most traditional teaching methods, the teacher-centered methodology attention is concentrated on the teacher. Teachers are in charge of the classroom and direct all activities. Typically, in this approach, children are seated at individual desks that face the teacher, while group work may take place as classroom time is spent with the teacher explaining concepts and assigning individual work. Student-centered or constructivist approach. Many of the teaching methods and strategies on this list are considered student-centered or constructivist. In simple only on the teacher. In this approach, children may sit in small groups, access centers, and possibly move about the classroom freely. Children play a more active role in their learning and may even help choose the topics they learn about. Project-based learning, a relatively new teaching method. Project-based learning is a teaching method that falls within the student-centered approach. As the name suggests, in project-based learning, students complete projects. However, these are big, meaty projects in which students acquire knowledge, research, think critically, evaluate, analyze, make decisions, collaborate, and more. Also, an important tenet of the project is that students have choice. Montessori. This type of teaching is based on a methodology that's over 100 years old, yet it continued to offer a novel approach to creating a student-centered classroom. Maria Montessori was an Italian doctor who worked with poor children in the early 1990s. She developed her methods based on the careful observation of the children in her care. Inquiry-based learning. This is exactly what inquiry-based learning is about. In this approach, the teacher guides students to develop critical thinking and problem-solving skills. To learn these skills, the teacher helps students think through their processes, teaches them possible approaches, and encourage them to try various methods. Students are encouraged to fail as a part of the process and then improve their performance in subsequent activities. Flipped classroom. In this facilitating approach to learning, homework is very intentional. Rather than being extra practice, homework is a preparation for the next class. With this approach, students may watch a video or lecture about the content and ideas that will be used in the next class. In other words, lower orders of thinking in Bloom's taxonomy, such as remembering and understanding, are relegated to work. The classroom work focuses on higher orders of thinking and learning, such as analyzing, evaluating, and creating. The idea is that students should have more time in the classroom focusing on achieving these higher levels of thinking and learning. That way, the teacher can guide this practice more effectively. Cooperative learning. As the name suggests, cooperative learning involves a lot of group work. However, it also requires a lot of structure and invention from the part of the teacher to make learning as effective as possible. Some commonly used cooperative learning strategies include think, pair, share. Discussion in small groups or pairs can also be effective, as can a jigsaw approach. In the jigsaw model, students are broken into small groups and read or learn from a certain perspective. Then, one group member from each of the groups from new groups, and they bring their understanding to that group. Personalized education. Personalized education takes the student-centered approach to a new level by as much as possible, responding to each individual learner's unique needs, strengths, and weaknesses. Through individualized instruction, learning is tailored to the student. In today's world, this might be seen in one-on-one tutoring or high-tech, responsive learning applications like Happy Numbers.